Is Index Universal Life Insurance the financial world's best kept secret? Or is it the product your advisor pitches right before their commission check clears? We need to talk about IUL because billions of dollars are flowing into these policies every single year. And most people signing on the dotted line have no idea what they actually bought. Here's the thing. IUL sales have exploded over the past decade, with annual premiums surpassing $30 billion in the United States alone. Insurance companies are marketing these as the holy grail, tax-free growth, downside protection, and lifelong coverage, all wrapped in one glossy brochure. The pitch sounds almost too clean. Your money tracks a stock index like the S&P 500, so you participate in market gains, but a floor of 0% protects you when markets crash. It sounds like someone figured out how to remove all the bad parts of investing while keeping all the good parts, and if that sentence made you nervous, it should. The catch lives in something called caps and participation rates, and this is where the product quietly puts its hand in your pocket. If the index gains 30% in a year, you might only be credited 8 or 10% because your policy has a cap, meaning the insurance company keeps the difference as the cost of that downside protection. Think of it like being invited to a casino where you get to keep your winnings but only up to a certain amount, and the house quietly skims everything above that. Meanwhile, policy fees, cost of insurance charges, and administrative expenses are silently draining your cash value every single month, even in years the index goes nowhere. Early in the IUL boom, financial influencers and wealth coaches were screaming from rooftops that this was the vehicle the wealthy used to avoid taxes forever. Then interest rates shifted. Insurers started slashing caps from 12% down to 5 or 6%. And suddenly, those 30-year projections your advisor showed you started looking like fan fiction. Dave Ramsey calls these products garbage. While fee-only planners often say the same, but on the other side, legitimate estate planning attorneys and high-income earners with maxed-out retirement accounts do find specific, narrow use cases where IUL makes rational sense. The honest truth is that this product isn't universally evil or universally brilliant. It's a scalpel being sold to people who needed a hammer. History is patient and slightly cruel. We've seen this movie before, with whole life in the 1980s, variable annuities in the 90s, and equity index annuities in the 2000s complex products with compelling stories that consistently underdelivered against simple alternatives over long time horizons. Every generation gets its version of the "this time it's different" wrapper around the same basic Insurance Plus investment bundle. The biggest misconception is that 0% floor means you never lose money, but that ignores the very real losses caused by fees, caps, and opportunity cost compared to just investing in a low-cost index fund directly. Your money can absolutely shrink inside an IUL, even in a year the market finishes flat, because the policy charges don't take a vacation. So what do you actually do with this information? If you're a high-income earner who has maxed out your 401k, your Roth IRA, and your HSA, and you have a genuine permanent life insurance need, then and only then should IUL even enter the conversation. For everyone else, a term policy plus consistent index fund investing in tax advantage accounts will almost certainly outperform an IUL over a 30-year horizon, with far more transparency and far less complexity. The discipline here isn't about being anti-insurance. It's about matching tools to problems and refusing to let a compelling story override a spreadsheet. Size your risk appropriately, understand every fee before you sign, and never let someone else's commission structure drive your financial planning. At the end of the day, the best financial vehicle is the one you actually understand, can stick with through volatility, and won't panic surrender in year 7 when life gets complicated. Complexity is not sophistication, and a product you can't explain to your spouse in 5 minutes probably deserves a second opinion. Whether IUL ends up being right for your situation or completely off the table, the real win is that you ask the question, because most people don't, and that's exactly how expensive mistakes get made. Preparation and rational analysis aren't just habits. They're the closest thing to an unfair advantage that regular people actually have access to. And if your financial journey is pointing toward building real, tangible wealth through real estate or home equity, check out our links in the description below. We can help connect you with investors, contractors, and lenders to get you started on the right path.